Hello all. I am Dr.S. Vijayarani, Associate Professor, Department of Sociology, Sita Lakshmi Ramaswamy College, Tiruchirappalli. In this video, I am going to discuss about the process of socialization. Man is a social animal, it is said by Aristotle. To be a social being, every human being needs this socialization process because this process only converts a human being into a social being. Development of personality is not an automatic process. Every society has its own methods of giving social training to its newborn members. It helps the new members to develop their personality. This social training is called socialization. By nature, only little portion of human behavior is instinctive. Major portion is learned behavior. The human child comes into the world as a biological organism with animal needs. He is gradually molded into a social being and learns social ways of acting and feeling. The society cannot exist without this process. In this video, we are going to discuss about the meaning, need for socialization, and what are the agencies involved in the socialization process, and what are the types of socialization process. Every society is faced with the necessity of making a responsible member out of each child born into it. Socialization is a process with the help of which a living organism is changed into a social being. It is a process through which the younger generation learns the adult role which it has to play subsequently. It is a continuous process in the life of an individual and it continues from generation to generation. The newborn is merely an organism. Socialization makes him responsive to the society. He is socially active. He becomes a Purush and the culture that his group inculcates in him humanizes him and makes him Manusha. The process indeed is endless. The cultural pattern of his group in the process gets incorporated in the personality of a child. It prepares him to fit in the group and to perform the social roles. It sets the infant on the line of social order and enables an adult to fit into the new group. It enables man to adjust himself to the new social order. Socialization stands for the development of human brain, body, attitude, behavior, and so forth. Socialization is known as the process of inducting the individual into the social world. The term socialization refers to the process of interaction through which the growing individual learns the habits, attitudes, values, and beliefs of the social group into which he has been born. According to George Andrew Lundberg, an American sociologist, socialization is the complex process of interaction through which the individual learns the habits, beliefs, skills, and standards of adjustment that are necessary for his effective participation in social groups and communities. Why we need socialization? Is it not possible to live without socialization? Is the question that arises in the minds of everyone. Yes, it is very much needed to each and every individual in the society. A newborn baby needs this process to know the people around it, how behave, personal practices, etc. It learns only through this process. So it is an essential one for the newborn baby. The personality of the newborn baby is molded and shaped by socialization process. Through socialization, we learn how to perceive our world, gain a sense of own identity, and discover how to interact appropriately with others. It is essential to learn the rules of social behavior, values, aims, and objectives of life. It is needed to discipline an individual by teaching the values and norms. It advocates the necessities of following them and respecting them. Each and every individual is born with a status and each status is associated with some roles. Socialization process helps the individual to understand the status and role and help the individual to perform the roles in an effective way. Transmission of culture from one generation to another is possible only through socialization process. It educates the younger generation about our habits, customs, values, which are the components of culture. Socialization process should be channelized and streamlined through some organizations or agencies. These agencies help the individual by providing necessary training to become an effective part of the society. The agencies of socialization are family and parents, peer group, school and teachers, religious institutions, and mass media. Among the agencies of socialization, the process starts from family, especially with the parents and other family members. Among the family members, mother plays an important role because she is closely attached to the child for a long time. Apart from parents, the child learns other information from its siblings and other relatives. The child learns love and affection, self-sacrifice, truthfulness, and tolerance from the family members. The information that learned in the childhood continue forever throughout the lifetime of the children. Next to family, peers and agemates play an important role in socializing the children. Peer group means children, those who are in the same age, his associates in school, playground, in streets, etc. The children learn different culture and facts of other persons since the peers come from different family background and different cultures. At this age, peer culture becomes more important and effective than parental culture. The advice of one's age mates sets the standard and every aspect of his or her conduct. After family, the educational institutions take over the charge of socialization. In some societies, simple or non-literate societies, socialization takes place almost entirely within the family. But in highly complex societies, children are also socialized by the educational system. Schools not only teach reading, writing, and other basic skills, they also teach students to develop themselves, to discipline themselves, to cooperate with others, to obey rules, and to test their achievements through competition. Schools teach sets of extra expectations about the work, profession, or occupations they will follow when they mature. Schools have the formal responsibility of imparting knowledge in those disciplines which are most central to adult functioning in our society. It has been said that learning at home is on a personal emotional level, whereas learning at school is basically intellectual. Teachers are the role model to the children in the school. Especially in the early childhood, the teacher plays a crucial role in the socialization process of the child. Schools and teachers teaches different information and the child learns varied cultural aspects. From early forms of print technology to electronic communication, that is radio and television, the media is playing a central role in shaping the personality of the individuals. Since the last century, technological innovations such as radio, motion pictures, recorded music, and television have become important agents of socialization. Television, in particular, is a crucial force in the socialization of children almost all over the New World. Children spend most of the time watching television apart from sleeping and other activities. It is a time-consuming activity of young people. Relative to other agents of socialization discussed above, such as family, peer group, and school, television has certain distinctive characteristics. It permits imitation and role-playing, but does not encourage more complex forms of learning. Watching television is a passive experience. Religion, through its literature, gives us the culture of the ancient societies and also guides us in the present. Religion is an effective informal socialization which helps to discipline the individual. Coming to the types of socialization, Primary socialization and secondary socialization are the first two basic types of socialization. Primary socialization is early childhood socialization. It is called primary socialization in a sense. It is the beginning of the socialization process. It occurs first and it is the most crucial stage of socialization for later development. This stage is considered to be the development stage in children in which their personality and self-concept is developed. They acquire cognitive abilities, language, and internalize norms and values. Moreover, they establish emotional ties and pick up other roles and perspectives. Secondary socialization can be seen at work outside the immediate family, in the peer group. The growing child learns very important lessons in social conduct from his peers. He also learns lessons in the school, hence socialization continues beyond and outside the family environment. Secondary socialization generally refers to social training received by the child in institutional or formal settings and continues throughout the rest of his life. Apart from primary and secondary socialization, anticipatory socialization and re-socialization are other two forms of socialization. Anticipatory socialization occurs in between the childhood and adulthood. Adolescence begins to establish independence from their parents. During this stage, adolescents participate in anticipatory socialization. They not only learn their immediate group culture but also learn the culture of a group which they are expecting to join in future. Sometimes when an individual changes his group and become a part of a new group, he have to abandon his old way of life. Such a situation compel an individual to abandon the old values, norms and beliefs. To adjust in a new group, he has to learn the values, norms and beliefs of a new group. The process of learning a new ways of life is called as re-socialization. In addition to the above said types, organizational socialization, group socialization, and developmental socialization are also included in the types of socialization. Organizational socialization is defined as a learning and adjustment process that enables an individual to assume an organizational role that fits both organizational and individual needs. It is a dynamic process that occurs when an individual assumes a new or changing role within an organization. Group socialization means the process of interaction between an individual and a group that begins when he or she first considers joining the group and ends when he or she leaves it. The individual learns to adjust to various group norms and behave in a manner acceptable to new group members. Developmental socialization occurs during the adulthood. This type of socialization is dependent on the primary and anticipatory socialization. In the early two stages, an individual has acquired the skills, developed his attitude, and established the goals for future which have prepared him for the position which he is likely to hold as an adult. As an adult individual, he is encouraged with new situations and roles such as marriage, job, husband and employee or employer, which will require new expectation and obligation. In this stage, new learning combines with the old to continue the process of developmental or professional socialization. The two more types of socializations are positive socialization and negative socialization. Positive socialization is the type of social learning that is based on pleasurable and exciting experiences. We tend to like the people who fill our social learning process with the positive motivation, loving care, and rewarding opportunities. Positive socialization occurs when desired behaviors are reinforced with a reward, encouraging the individual to continue exhibiting similar behavior in the future. Interacting with friends and family, being told to obey rules, being rewarded for doing chores, and being taught how to behave in public places are the examples of socialization that enable a person to function within his or her culture. Negative socialization occurs when others use punishment, harsh criticisms, or anger to try teach us a lesson, and often we come to dislike both negative socialization and the people who impose it on us. For example, negative socialization by mass media, social media has had a huge impact on society, especially on a personal mental health over time. It's changed the way we communicated and the way we frame the narrative of our lives. Social media can often harm one's mental health. It can cause depression and anxiety, and it lower the self-esteem. Coming to the importance of socialization, it is the process through which people are taught to be proficient members of a society. It describes the ways that people come to understand societal norms and expectations, to accept society's beliefs, and to be aware of social values. Socialization is not the same as socializing, that is, interacting with others like family and friends. To be precise, it is a sociological process that occurs through socializing. It helps to transfer a human being into a social being. He learns the ways to behave in a society from this process, and it also helps him to participate effectively in the societal activities. This happens only through continuous training, which is given by parents, siblings, peers, and society. This constant training helps to mold and develop the personality of the individual. The socialization process teaches an individual the norms and values of the group. By teaching it, it directs us to live an approved way of life. Socialization helps to learn the rules of the social behavior. It helps to behave them in a proper and socially accepted way. Each and every individual in the society play multiple roles, and the individual acquires these talents through socialization process. The socializing agencies teach them how effectively one can play multiple roles. It trains the newborn child to learn certain skills which are required to live a normal life. It assures the cultural continuity by transferring the culture from one generation to another. It only transfers the culture from one generation to another. Thus, socialization process is necessary for each and every society, without which a society cannot exist. For society to function, the socialization of individuals is necessary, although how this occurs and what is transmitted in terms of cultural norms and values differs. Every society relies upon socialization to ensure its survival. Thank you.